storm names that we will be dealing with for 2023. Today, we have Idalia, which is this name on the list, and it replaces Irma after it was retired in 2017. Let's talk a little bit about Irma, about the I names. They are the most retired names, and they are well above every other name here. There's your I. Lucky 13 have been retired. Let's hope that Idalia is nothing like the name that is actually its namesake, or I guess the name that it is replacing here. Irma also was a very long-lasting system here. Category 5 for 3¼ days. That's a really long time for these systems. When they get that big and that strong, usually they have to kind of cycle through and take a little bit of a breath before they can stay at that strength for that long. And as we go down the list here, Ivan also was a big one. Now, no development expected over the next 7 days. All is actually very, very quiet here. And remember, June 1st is the start of hurricane season. We can have storms before that, but it doesn't look like we're going to have anything right now. And NOAA actually is going to announce their hurricane outlook next Thursday on May 25th and talk about their numbers. And I don't know about you, but I'm not huge on the numbers because all you need is one right over your house, Jordan, and it makes all the difference in the world.
Which is why we all need to prep.
Farther south, where we're going to have all the heat, and we're going to take you to the beach here and keep it in Florida, where it's going to be nice and warm and humid. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit on the stormy side. The beach also reminds me of Southern California. And speaking of Southern California, it was on this date in 2000 that the final episode of Beverly Hills 90210 aired. Now, I know they did a remake of it recently, but the OG show with Donna and all the different characters, right? Let's have a look at the storms that we're going to be dealing with. And what we have going on is that the upper level flow is from west to east. And so when you get that daytime heating, you get that sea breeze, the storms typically go inland. But with that flow from west to east, it'll push at least those east coast storms a little bit closer to the beach. And if you're at the beach, you've got to watch out for that rip current here. Both models are showing that we stay really with active weather. We have a little piece of energy that drops down for our Thursday. We have a front that comes down. So it does keep us cloudy. It does keep us wet. And we're going to stay cool into the southeast with that nose of cold air coming down the east side of the Appalachians. But both models are basically doing the same. Clouds, showers, and I know that a lot of people are starting to think about their summer vacation. Everyone's warning that summer vacation is going to be insane. I'm not sure why it's going to be more insane than normal, but a lot of people like to head to the coast, go to the beach, get a little sun, get the sand, the water, the whole 9 yards here. We will see rain as we head through the next couple of days. 1 to 2 inches of it. School's out for a lot of kids here as we head over the next couple of weeks. Then all the summer activities kick up. You got to worry about the kids doing those sports camps outside during the summertime. But as we go through the day today into our Thursday, that's when we really see this pressure gradient come in with our high pressure to the north coming down. And we also have a front in the south. So, Jim, all of that combined is going to give us some breezy conditions. I think Thursday is kind of our worst day here in the south.
Especially on the coast.
The days. Yeah. Here are the same. I don't know why
they just say there's a lot more people going out.
Really, for our Friday, we have a boundary here that's going to kick off the storms. A lot of red on the map. This kind of looks like the Oklahoma rose red into southeast portions of Oklahoma. That's the state flower, the Oklahoma rose. And maybe you're going to do a little planting. Not the day here on Friday because we have this boundary coming in. We do get some daytime heating, so that's going to let everything pop off. But that's not the only thing we have at play. There's also some stronger winds that will be injecting energy into this as well. Ample moisture. The humidity is back. It is back to stay here in the south. Some mid-level winds that could help increase the energy of these thunderstorms and pump out the rain. So anywhere from Friday really into Saturday, everything's going to move east. We're going to start clearing out for us here into the south. Notice Dallas, we get the storms Friday night. Saturday, gorgeous. Absolutely stunning weather, 81 degrees and sunny. The rain that's going to come down, very beneficial. Jim was just talking about this and how dry it is into portions of Kansas, Oklahoma, into western Texas. We really could use that rain. This is our Friday forecast. Front sweeps through. We clear out into the plains, and then it's the East Coast. And by the way, we get a little piece of energy also riding up the East Coast. So the two of these cause really messy weather for our Saturday. Sunday, it blows through the Northeast and gets through portions of the South, but the Carolinas could still stay unsettled, Jordan. It's time to do a little traveling here as we take you coast to coast and show you that San Francisco, maybe a few issues there, but we will see more issues as we head into the afternoon as you get some of those thunderstorms and everything. The planes have to go around the storms. It's really cool to watch. You can watch on certain apps the planes fly, and they won't go right through a thunderstorm. It's not good for anybody. Trust me on that one. For people that are nervous flyers, they will go around it, but they can only go around so far. Planes can't just go willy-nilly, around the United States. I mean, obviously, if you have a small private one, it's a little different, but the major airlines, a lot of times they follow actually the highways. If you look at the highways, it's kind of the similar routes that they follow. It's pretty cool. Speaking of the highways, not so cool as we head through the afternoon today, but enjoy this warmth. Maybe roll the windows down, absorb it in, because tomorrow is going to be nice to have a top down at like 67, upper 60s, lower 70s in the south. Now that I think about it, it's going to be quite nice.
We drove to South Carolina.
That time, it was like
37
Yeah,
out?
it was freezing. That was freezing. Jim and I once did a shoot in South Carolina, and we drove from Atlanta, and we put the top down because we're like, it's amazing to have the top down, right? It was
true story.
It was freezing.
It was amazingly cold.
But we didn't care. We loved it. We both hat, gloves, jacket,
Exactly.
and we just rolled like that. Jordan? Yeah, we were
all in.
Yeah,
we were all in.
We
That's
had
awesome.
All right, maybe doing a little traveling here, doing a little run this morning, doing the heel toe express, as it's called, right? Because you're walking or running. Nice weather to do that in a lot of portions of the south. Few showers and storms still drifting from Mississippi over into Alabama. Will we see more sunshine as we head into the afternoon? The next couple of days look like they'll be stormy. Severe thunderstorm warning just to the west of Morgan City, and that's where we do have very heavy rainfall, very intense here in the parishes of southern Louisiana. We'll see more of this. By the way, this is crossing over the highway and continue to make its way off to the north and the east. We're going to do that and take you into the Carolinas and show you, we'll see some clouds and showers, but the biggest threat for that severe weather is going to be essentially, I'll say, in between I-10 and I-20, and that's where we will see the rain develop. As we go through the afternoon, what happens? We get daytime heating. There's also little boundaries in the atmosphere. Those will help kick off your showers and thunderstorms. And as we go into the afternoon, you will see more rain. Temperatures in the 70s. We're feeling that warmth. We're feeling that humidity come back. And we will see the threat for storms really through the western portions of the plains. And this is right where we actually need a lot of rain. It's super, super dry. We obviously don't want the lightning to come with it. But another place from Oklahoma to West Texas, Jordan, a lot of these spots need a lot more rain than they're going to get, but we'll take what we can.
Yes, we will.
Abrams?
When you're around people that are sick, and you know that's how you get it.
But they get
the weather
sick
changing.
because they're out and it's cold.
It happens because you're clinching, and then all of a sudden you relax, and somehow it happens. And the history of storm names that we're going to be dealing with for 2023. Today, we want to talk about the I-name storm. Idalia, that's right here. It replaces Irma after it was retired in 2017. Now, if you don't remember, it's very significant. If we look over time, it is actually the letter that has the most names retired. 13 retired, blowing away all the other letters that actually have been retired here on the list. And we actually are going to see NOAA announcing their hurricane outlook next Thursday on May 25th. So keep that in mind. Irma also was a Category 5 for 3.25 days. It's a long time to be a Category 5. A lot of times these storm systems, they gain a lot of strength, they get big, they get intense, and then they have to basically take a breath and then they get strong again. No development here expected over the next 7 days, so all is quiet. But remember, it only takes one, Jordan, so don't get too hung up on these numbers when we talk about them.
That's right.
It's called because all that cold air wedges in on the east side there of the Appalachian Mountains. Let's take you a little bit farther south where that front will not get to, and we're talking down into Florida. It's going to stay warm. It is going to stay humid for us here. A lot of people heading to the beach. Only a couple more weeks till everyone's out of school, and it's time for summer. I can't believe the year is flying by like this already. Rip currents are a possibility here on the East Coast, also onto the west coast of Florida. And it's going to be pretty rough out there because we have a boundary that's going to help kick off waves, and that's going to kick off the clouds and the showers. And both models are showing that we're going to see this. So that's a look at the European, and the GFS also shows this same type of energy that's going to be flying around the southeast. We get a little piece of energy that drops down. That helps kick things off. You get daytime heating. You get all of it. So essentially, not a great beach few days for us here. But don't worry, summer is right around the corner, and we will have plenty of days of gorgeous, stagnant, hot air for you to go to the beach and enjoy it. And we will see a little bit of rain. This is a rainy season for Florida. Mid-May is when it kicks off, so we will see those showers. The GFS not as hot on the rainfall, but even if you don't get a lot of the rain, you still have the cloud cover, which is just a bummer, right? Everyone's just ready for that sun, the heat. You want to feel it, and it will come back. Don't worry. And then it'll only be a matter of time till everyone's complaining about the heat and the sun. But look at the winds with a bit of a pressure gradient. We do have a high here that's giving us all that cool air, and then we have a boundary in the south, and the two of those are going to create some gusty winds. So maybe some delays at the airport. Maybe you're going to hear the wind chimes of your neighbors going off here because we have all of those breezy conditions for us. And you got to be careful in the water. The waves are going to kick up. You'll see that because have you ever thought about what actually makes waves? Sometimes it's one of those things where you're like, oh, never actually thought about that, right? Well, it's the wind that stirs up the water and actually causes all those waves to crank for us here. So they'll be pretty big. And of course, Jim, listen, hurricane season officially starts June 1st, but you can have systems develop earlier than that.
We just don't think this is going
to be running into storms that look like this as we head throughout the day. Not only today, but as we go into our Thursday and Friday, there is the possibility for more thunder and lightning. Keep that in mind. We have a huge area, anywhere from Memphis all the way back to San Angelo. And it's all because we have a boundary. We get the sun, the daytime heating. You've got the lift, and that's going to cause the storms. There's also some winds that will inject some energy into the system. Notice the moisture. We got a lot of it. It is humid out there. Everything's bubbling up. There are your winds that are increasing. And when you get that energy, it doesn't just stop. It doesn't hit a wall. Everything energizes, and we will see more storms bubbling up. The possibility of flooding does exist from Colorado to New Mexico over into the southern plains and portions of the southeast. Dallas, we get great weather on Saturday, so don't fret if you have outdoor plans on Saturday, maybe a birthday party, some sort of party. We will have nice weather for that. Rain coming in 1 to 2 inches into Oklahoma, Kansas. This is right where we need it, though. We really could use this rainfall here. It's very, very dry. So Friday, the front sweeps through. It clears out into the plains, and then we have it along the southeast and into the northeast. And it's not going to be a total washout. Some of you just might see the cloud cover. It swings through the northeast, so at least on Sunday, it gets a lot better for some of us here along the East Coast, Jordan. Not everyone, but a lot of us will see more sunshine.
All right, let's get everybody.
Whoa, that lightning.
There's a little lightning in there, too.
Right. Minor detail, that kind of like, we do have some lightning out there this morning. Lightning strikes are only like the width of a pencil. They're very, very thin. They're not exactly these huge, when they go like that, you think it's like this massive, pole-size thing, but it's really super teeny tiny. We do have the threat for storms into the southeast. That's where we could have some delays here, not only at the airports, but on the roads. And we just learned the other week about the roads. It's no longer about doing the penny and up to, Lincoln's Head or whatever. They actually have these markers on your tires. I looked for mine. I couldn't find them. We did find them on Jen's car when we went out that day to look. But there are certain markers now within your tread that you can, if they're no longer kind of aligned with your tread, then you can tell you need new tires.
Exactly.
But I couldn't find them on mine because, like, the way the wheel and the car was situated, it was just too hard to find them. So
You're into the groove.
we tried.
To feel it.
Yeah, we did.
Couldn't find it.
Nope.
Well, you can still use the penny
Neither
tray.
of us could.
Use the penny
You should
tray.
see it's red. They're red.
We can. It all depends on your car, right? Like
Yeah.
everyone's just a little bit different, kind of the same with your cars. You know, you got to go with what works for your body. We will see that sunshine here as we head into tomorrow or lunchtime in Louisiana. We see the showers coming in, Jordan, a little bit later in the day.
All right. Well, if anybody's traveling.
Bitten because mosquitoes are coming and they're coming fast and furious. And when they arrive, did you ever feel like you're like a mosquito magnet?
Because you're so sweet. That's what we always say, right?
Right.
It's because you're so sweet.
But there may be some truth to that.
There might be some truth to that, right? Researchers at Virginia Tech are studying this very thing. Joining us is biochemistry assistant professor at Virginia Tech, I should say, Clement Veneget. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. You co-authored the study here, and I've always heard it's not necessarily the perfume per se, but what your the smell your skin is radiating. So can the mosquito tell the difference between your actual scent or a spray or a soap?
Yeah, it's a good question. Good morning.
I just want to make sure I have this right because I got to get some coconut soap. Okay, so get
Coconut's
soap
a repellent.
with coconut in it. All right, that's good. Is there any other types of soap that we should be using more so that we don't attract the mosquitoes besides coconut?
That's really early to
Shouldn't be eating. Yeah. When we go out, that we shouldn't be like
foods come out through your pores, when you have garlic, right?
You can smell.
Somebody's had a little too much garlic.
Are there certain foods we should avoid or eat to repel them?
So the food
just had the whole studio gasp
sorry.
I know Jim's out.
No, what are you hoping to find? I mean, you guys hoping to break down stuff chemically? Because I don't know. Sometimes you just naturally take a shower, you put perfumes on, you go out by the campfire or whatever. Does cologne and aftershave and things like that just add to the mosquito going, hey, I want to come over here?
Yeah, for sure. Because, when
stuff. Wow. And I can't wait to learn what you guys find over time. And so
I will say, if I am freshly showered, go out to a fire, they're all over me.
Well, that just means you smell so good. As Clement was saying, you smell good.
But I don't want to give free blood away. Professor, thank you for that information.
Thank you.
No more holy smoke.
Be bundled up too. Well, it's one of the longest and most grueling sporting events. Imagine spending 5 months racing 36,500 miles around the globe on a 60-foot sailboat. Now, winds can reach over 60 miles an hour, waves 40 feet high, and temperatures in excess of 100 degrees.
Yeah, it's not even like you could just be like, okay, I'm done for today.
Yeah, I'm good.
Right? You are in it. It's called the Ocean Race. Charlie Enright is the skipper for the 11th Hour Racing team, joining us live from Newport, Rhode Island. Good to see you again, Charlie. Thanks so much for being with us. Last spoke with you, what was that, late February? What stage are you guys at in the race now compared to back then?
Hey, thanks for having me again. Talking to you from Newport.
Tell us about that. We're looking at some of your video.
Yeah.
So, the last leg not only featured a win for the 11th Hour Racing, but also
on you, on your body, the boat too. I know that two teams dismasted over the past 2 legs. You've had repairs along the way as well. Tell us about how those and what those were, how you make the repairs at sea. Is it more of just like a last minute, you're just trying to figure out a way to fix things?
How we track our actions and our movements around the world.
We appreciate
we work
it.
with the Ocean Race, the class, and basically.
Hey, Abrams.
And I'm Jordan Steele. Today's episode, we're going to watch us play a board game for the whole hour.
That's what it's going to.
Roll the dice.
That's what kids do anymore on YouTube, right? They sit there and watch other kids play.
People play.
Yeah, well,
it's crazy.
How great would it be if you had the beach all to yourself?
Ooh, I like.
When it said enough to circle the Earth, I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a lot. And then it said
20 times.
20 times.
And that's after technology of all the electronics
right. Imagine
we use,
before
right?
all of that.
Welcome back, everybody, to Pat on Our Changing Climate is helping to fuel more extreme weather events. In fact, so far this year, flooding events have cost us $3.5 billion. This is all according to NOAA.
And that's why it's more important than now to find ways to actually protect people from the rising waters. The team at Esri is using technology to do just that. We're joined now by Ryan Landcloss, who leads Esri's disaster response program. So let's talk more about this. And, you know, many communities that are used to flooding are actually getting hit more than normal. It's going higher than normal, more frequently, all of it. So how important is it for emergency managers to understand when a situation is no longer, quote, normal?
You know, how does your technology, Esri arrives?
Yeah, well, here at Esri,
GIS class in college. I almost majored in GIS. Now I'm talking 25 years ago or something.
Cool.
So it was
Yeah,
at like its
fascinating.
infancy stage and whatnot. But now I wish I did, because GIS is used literally in every business everywhere. But anyhow, that's me with my regrets. But you use digital twins for natural disasters. What does that mean, and why does it even matter?
yeah, well, Stephanie, you just
There.
Yeah.
Ryan Landcloss, National Government and Public Safety Director at Esri. Thank you so much for joining us
Appreciate
today.
it. All right, coming up next on Pat on America's very first electric vehicle corridor.